Thank you for joining us today on Something to Think About with Pastor Mike, where the topics can range from current events, historical perspectives, practical Bible application, to whatever's on his mind today. People have stereotypes of what it means to be a Christian, and one thing's for sure, Pastor Mike loves breaking those stereotypes. Pastor Mike Hasseltine is the senior pastor of Maranatha Church with campuses in Forest Lake and Chisago, Minnesota. With over 40 years of practical pastoral ministry, Pastor Mike challenges us to be real people, loving a real God, right in the midst of all our real lives. Now, here's Pastor Mike.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again. It's a Friday, and it's beautiful outside. Mm-hmm. Man, this weather has been just going so wonderful late.
It is.
We're into October 3rd.
I'm choking over here.
Oh, my gosh. But yeah, the weather's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I mean, at our men's conference this past weekend, a bunch of us rode our motorcycles up to Brainerd.
Nice.
In late October, I didn't even pack a rain suit because there's no rain scheduled, and the weather literally could not have been better.
Nice.
It was just chilly enough that you got a chance to wear your leather jacket, it's just comfortable to wear your jacket. And it wasn't too hot. I mean, man, it was marvelous. Jay, you loved it.
Yeah, sorry I missed it.
Yeah. How you doing?
That's kind of a personal question.
Yeah, but I get personal all the time. I go where angels fear to tread sometimes.
Excuse me, you're meddling, sir.
No, hey,
great. It's life's good.
I realized that this last week you were up, something you've done for how many years have you done this? You go flying these remote control airplanes.
Yeah.
You and your buddies.
And gliders. Yep. And I think we're on 37 years.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? That's a hobby.
This.
I mean, now that's a hobby.
And well, what was a hobby was kind of taken away when it became my business, but this is the same week every year we go up, and it's really virtually the only week that I do this. So I don't fly the rest of the year typically.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Although it's get a little more fun with the grandkids now.
Oh,
like, hey, what's
bet.
this? I go, let's go.
Let's go do it. Oh, yeah. That sounds like it's a fun weekend because I'm aware of your friends, and a lot of the guys that you originally started with have since passed on, and tragically, because you're all still pretty young.
It was, we started, I think, in 1988 with 3 guys and 3 airplanes. And now we have 2 guys, and I think between the 2 of us, we had 56 or 57 airplanes.
Robin just busted a gut. She's shocked at the number.
What? People make fun of, women
Shoes.
who collect shoes or jewelry or anything like that. I think everybody has their thing they enjoy collecting because they each have a different aspect, like motorcycles.
Well,
true.
Or cars.
True.
I mean, present company included.
Well, says we've got that many for one 7-day trip once a year.
Yep.
Other than that, they're sitting in storage. But we had a long time third guy that came up with us that passed on. He died, I think, 3 years ago. Now, but we inherited most of his planes. His wife's like, he'd want you guys to have this stuff, so now we take some of his stuff up to
and fly that. Yep.
Yeah, and we blew up a picture of his head, and we put it on a piece of stiff cardboard and taped it to a yardstick, so he comes with us, and we set him around the campfire.
I love it.
And take him out, take pictures with him.
His name is Steve, right?
Yep, Steve. We take pictures.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
That's awesome.
But we'll take pictures of him doing stuff and send them to his wife.
Yep.
She appreciates that, knowing that we're still having fun and fond memories of him.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, if they haven't been in the situation, they're not aware of it, a death like that, and then some people could be almost offended, like, what, you take his picture and stick it on a stick and all that. I have discovered that most people who've lost a spouse, their biggest concern is that their spouse will be forgotten. Mm-hmm. So I can imagine that she just literally relishes in the fact that you guys do that. You, quote, bring him with you. Yep. You do that
And she's like, it was always the highlight of his year. And he looked forward to that almost more than anything else, and he would have loved it. And so yeah, she thinks it's neat that we're still remembering him, and it's not disrespectful. And
yep,
and
that's cool.
That's good.
He doesn't get into as much trouble as he used to.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. It'd be a problem if he did.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's. I think it's great you guys do this, and it's been going on for over 30 years. That's just fantastic. It really is.
Well, the sad thing for me, I was talking to one of the guys this morning at Bible study, and he's like, we missed you at conference. I was like, I used to love going to conference. Loved men's advance, because we don't retreat, right?
Well, we call it conference. We switched it from advance. Yeah, now it's, yep.
But say you used to go, and then, you switched it to winter. And I'm with my business, I'm locked up in the winter. I can't leave.
Yeah, right.
So that's not an option for me. And I said, yeah, Pastor Mike came out and he said, hey, we moved it away from winter, and so you'll be able to go this year. I said, great, when is? He goes, it's this weekend. It's like, I'm going to be in Michigan
right on that
one.
We're
planning that stuff a year in advance.
I know.
It's already on the books for next year.
Hey, we have it on the books already for next year.
Well, I was going to say, so that reminds me, let me get your date for next year, and then we can see.
Because the men's conference has already got a date.
What is it?
What is it? Yeah, around the same period of time.
Well,
and you guys, but if you know of the men's conference first, you can switch your flying thing. So anyway, shifting gears here. Yeah. Jenny, I was walking through the church building, and I came across a pickleball that was just squished. I mean, the thing was it was nasty.
She crushed it?
Jenny, I think, mashed it right into somebody's face. I mean, I'm just convinced that she is the cause of it. I think she just played, man, she just is intense. She makes people, wear pads, and I think she's going to encourage eventually people to wear helmets, but right now it's just glasses.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yes. She loves pickleball. We got quite a few people that come in and play pickleball several days a week.
It's very cool.
Different groups.
Wonderful
Guys,
to have the
gals,
community
mixed. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's really a...
Mm-hmm. Have you played pickleball?
I have.
What did you think?
It's fun. It's a fun sport. It's easy.
Nice.
It's good.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Is it something you're going to add to your life?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I'm too busy.
Golfing, probably.
Oh, I did. Been there, done that. Not going to play golf.
No?
And, I tease golf and say, yes, wimpy and all that. And I don't really honestly mean that. It's
just not your cup of tea.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, it's like any sport. When you get to an upper level, there's expertise, there's discipline, there's just practice to keep doing it. And the thing about golf, and this is maybe why I don't play it, is because you got to wear funny clothes. And okay, I'm just joking.
You get to.
No. Okay, no. I don't do it because it's not the kind of game that you win. You just play it.
Well, and I would imagine if you're going to be good at it, you've got to invest quite a bit of time.
Quite a bit of time. And again, I don't think you have to be really good at it to have fun.
Right.
I think people go out there and they're not that competitive. They like the idea of getting out, being with friends.
Hack at it.
Just, knocking a ball around and all the visiting that goes with it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a very social outing, hobby, if you will. I got friends that do it, and I respect them. I think they're great guys and gals. It's just not my thing. Because I know that with my personality, I'd want to get better, and I'd want to get better and stay at it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
I totally get that. You got to pick and choose.
Yeah, exactly, because there's a zillion things to do in life, and you can't do them all.
All at one time, anyway. I mean, if you heard people say you can't have it all, I'm like, well, I mean, maybe not all at once.
But if you were smart like Jay, this little hobby of the airplanes, it's just 1 week of the year. And then you go off and do other things. What do you think? Like collect shoes and jewelry.
Except you
perfume and
wear those
whatever
during the year.
I think I could play pickleball 1 week a year.
1 week a year, play pickleball. There you go.
Actually, this campground we went to, they used to have 2 tennis courts, and now it's 4 pickleball courts.
Oh, yep.
Very cool.
Changed.
It has swept the nation, this pickleball thing. And some communities are having problems because it's noise.
But, depending upon the age demographic, if you just take your hearing aid out, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it depends on what neighborhoods you're in. You're right.
It's like if you're in a senior neighborhood.
Just turn it off, turn it down. Okay, so if you're, for our listeners out there, you turn it in and you go, what is this? Every Friday you guys just gab, and sometimes it's serious stuff, sometimes it's not. Hey, thanks for joining us, and hopefully you enjoy the banter of us as well. Every once in a while, I know that you wish you had a microphone so you could chime in, and God, that would be fun. Mm-hmm. You can chime in anytime, though, by just going to our website, yourliferadio.com, or email us at wajc@yourliferadio.com. And if you have a comment or a question, man, you feel free to chime in.
Yeah, post it up on Facebook.
That would be
88.1 WAJC.
That'd be fantastic. So, Pastor Robin, go to, what are the national days? What are we looking at here?
National days. Okay. Today is National Body Language Day.
Body language.
National Body Language Day.
That's a great language, but sometimes it's misinterpreted.
I was going to say, I made that note because I think it shifts with culture. Different cultures.
Yeah, we can interpret something different.
We really can.
Yeah.
Yep, we sure can. It's also National Manufacturing Day.
All those hard workers out there, thank you for sticking at the factory jobs, doing it, producing stuff.
Yep, National Techies Day.
God bless these brainiacs. I tell you, they're incredible.
Mm-hmm. National Boyfriend Day.
Nope. Wait a minute. Let me back that up. Hopefully Orlean will celebrate
I was going to say
National Boyfriend Day.
There you go.
Let's hope she will. I'm at the reminder. Send her a text. Hey, did you know that today was National Boyfriend Day?
That's right.
You got one? I'll have to ask her.
I do. I have a boyfriend.
That's what I mean. I'm hoping she would answer positive. You first looked at me like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, hopefully it'd be me.
Yeah.
If she has a different answer, I'll tell you. I will let you know. If I'm not the answer, I will let you know.
There you go. Tomorrow, people should be aware, it's National Play Outside Day.
We shall.
Yeah, National Play Outside. And it's National Cinnamon Bun Day. So you can have a cinnamon bun and play outside. That's Saturday.
You can eat the bun and then go work it off.
There you go. Yeah. I did want to highlight this coming Sunday is National Do Something Nice Day.
That's every day.
Do Something Nice Day. It's also National Get Funky Day.
That's every day.
National Get Funky Day.
Nice and funky.
Got to get
nice and funky.
Nice and funky. But as people are planning their weeks, this just felt really important for them to put this anchor. This coming Tuesday, it's National Taco Day. National Taco Day.
Because every Tuesday. Yeah, every Tuesday is Taco Day. But this is
National Taco Day. So plan
I'm going to have to tell Grant.
Yeah.
Do you think National Taco Day always falls on a Tuesday? Is that a date? Or
I would imagine it
is.
has
Like
to.
Thanksgiving, it's always a Thursday.
Yeah.
So.
It's the first Tuesday in October every year.
There we go.
It is the first Tuesday.
Not a date, a day.
You think there'll be free tacos somewhere?
I don't know.
Yeah, your house. I'm coming. I'll be there. Just fire up the grill, man. I'll be there. We'll have some tacos.
We'll have some halibut tacos.
Yeah, halibut tacos.
There you go.
There were the national days.
Those are the national days.
Wow.
So Sunday, get funky. I got music going through my head. Get down on it.
To our listeners, again, it's not TV. So
My thought bubble, I'm picturing like Kool and the Gang.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. Anyway.
That's showing my age too.
Yes.
Yes.
The youngsters are going cool and what?
Or
Kool-Aid what?
Music appreciation. That spans the ages, I suppose.
Oh man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this kindness day, Kindness Day. That should be every day.
That should be every day. That's right. And we can all.
It's fun to surprise people with kindness. It really is.
Wouldn't it be great if kindness wasn't a surprise?
Yeah, if it'd be normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Perry Ingrams are in charge of our man church. We have men's gathering. We call it man church, the second Saturday of the month. And one phrase he brought up in his message last month. And I loved it. I'm going to grab onto it. It's great. He's challenging us to be uncommon.
Uncommon what?
Uncommon men. With uncommon devotion, uncommon kindness. You just go right on down the line. I love that phrase.
Yeah.
Uncommon.
That's great.
Yep. Be uncommon. Mm-hmm. In this world, I think it means good stuff, in society. Mm-hmm. So be uncommon.
Uncommon.
Man, I love it. It's like, That'll be a squirrel running around my head for quite a while. I want to visit something that we started last Friday, and not that people will remember, but this Charlie Kirk. People, obviously, it was a tragedy, and I went into all that last week. But I wanted to get to the place where we never did, to just challenge people to think about this one thing. I'm running into people who are just excited. You know, people in my world, in the church world, or people who lean to the right, they're just excited. And there's just all this chatter that, hey, our society's going to change. When they killed him, it's going to have a resurrection of more energy, more volume, and there's going to be a sweep across our nation of a move of conservatism, of believing in God, because that's what he dedicated his life to. And I have to admit, some people were saying this, and they're very excited, and they say, "Go, Pastor Mike, what do you think?" And I've been around people too long, and I've been around Christians, and I'd like to think I'm not jaded. However, my very strong concern is that people think talking about something brings change. By that I mean, if I type out a text and I send an email out, that tells them that I've done something. No, you haven't done a thing. So I've been using the opportunity when people bring this up and they go, "Oh man, the Charlie Kirk, what a tragedy!" And yeah, but I think people are going to wake up. They're going to wake up, and I go, okay, so let me ask you, since his funeral, have you shared Christ with anybody? Crickets. No. Okay, so it really didn't bring change, did it? But yet you're all hyped up about it, and you're wanting change to happen, and you see that change is going to happen, it's going to be out there, and you're just on this roll, but you personally haven't done a thing yet. Multiply that by the laziness of the human race. And I hope I am wrong. Oh my God, I hope I am wrong. Because people, I just think about this. Man, pastors, not just myself, pastors across this nation, yea, around the world, they preach good sermons. They tell people that you need to read your Bible, you need to have your devotions, you need to serve, you need to give. But do people do those things? No. At the men's conference, I forget, it was Friday night or something, and I just came across this idea, and I looked at them all, and I go, in really a moment of sticking it out there, I said, "Gentlemen," I looked out there, and I know most of them pretty well, and they've been Christians a long time, and I said, "Gentlemen, let's be honest. You do not have your devotions. I know you don't. And you've been a Christian for how long? This is ground zero, the foundation of a relationship with Christ. Spending time with Christ. Secondly, going to church. You got to show up at church. And people today, they have all kinds of reasons. Well, I miss church. 20% of Americans go to church once a week. 20%. 40 or 42% go once a month. Once a month. 57% never go to church, or very, very, very seldom. In fact, in the surveys, probably, weddings, funerals, things like that. 57% never go to church. 20% go to weekly. This is fundamental Christianity. You have your devotions. And I look at these guys, and I love these guys. They're not bad guys, but to be honest, you do not have your devotions. I don't get it.
Well, for me, it begs the question of what's getting in the way. Is it timing? Is it because if you don't make one small move every day, it's not going to happen? So what's getting in the way? Does it feel too intimidating? Because I know, being around for a little while here, I've known over the years, you've broken it down of you could do this or you could do this.
I have so many times.
This book is a good recommendation, or this thing, or whatever. And there's humanity, but there's also, have you done some work to remove the rocks out of your way to make it a workable thing in your life?
I think it's just pure. They're lazy. We're selfish. We are like electricity. We take the path of least resistance. In our head, we know it's a good idea. We know we should, but we don't. It's kind of like asking a group of people if they know how to lose weight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all know. Mm-hmm. It's this motivation, the doing. Mm-hmm. So I think that the question you're really asking is, so what is lacking in this motivation? What's the motivation lacking?
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting for me because if you feel like you kind of got a handle on your life, why is it important? You know, if somebody has you out a window and they're dangling you by your feet.
I've done that. Oh, confession's good for the soul.
Yeah, yikes. Okay, I won't stand so close. No, I'm just kidding. But if somebody is holding you out a window and dangling you by your feet, how vigorous is your prayer life? How close do you want to be with God? So it makes me wonder, are you actually over your head? Or do you think you have this? Which is a fallacy. We don't actually have this.
No.
Is your life now with God in a circumstance where you're convinced beyond the shadow of a doubt that you can't do what He's asked you to do without the enablement and the constant connection with the Lord? If not, please spend time with God, because the truth is we actually always need to have that moment-by-moment connection with Him, because we can't do what He's asked us to do without staying connected with Him. Otherwise, it's a work.
And the church has been so good through the centuries of telling us, do this, don't do this.
Yeah.
It's really, tragically, most of the church spends its time on modifying our behavior. Behavior modification. Mm-hmm. All the sermons, everything is behavior modification. Don't do this, change your behavior, stop your think patterns. No, that stuff comes secondary. The primary calling as a Christian is to know Him. Mm-hmm. You know, the Apostle Paul said, I pray that you would be able to comprehend with all the saints what is the height, the depth, the length, the breadth of the love of Christ for you in Christ Jesus.
Amen.
I was reading a passage the other day, the same thing, that you'd be granted all wisdom and knowledge of God, mm-hmm. that we would know Him. Well, the only way to know Him is to spend time with Him.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
And again, we know it, we hear it, we see it. So there's where, unfortunately, my tragedy, at least, again, I hope it's not being overly pessimistic, but I don't think the people that are talking about revival and this waves of this in the light of Charlie Kirk's death, I tragically don't see it happening. Because I know human nature.
Mm-hmm. It'd have to be a move of the Holy Spirit.
Oh, Lord.
Changing
and God, we need it. We really do.
Mm-hmm.
But because texting it, talking, oh, wow, this tragedy. No. Take His message and make Christ known. Mm-hmm. Again, so I'm using it literally. So many groups that I come in and they start talking about this, I go, so, since His death, who did you tell about Jesus? And again, crickets. Nobody. They're just not doing it. So we like to think that, waving flags and making noise is bringing change. Nope, it's not. Mm-mm. Anyway, for all of our listeners, that is something to think about. We'll be right back after this break. You're listening to Something to Think About with me, Pastor Mike, a production of WAJC, Your Life Radio on 88.1 and 91.7 FM. We'd love to hear from you. If you have questions or comments about today's show, email us at wajc@yourliferadio.com. If you're ever in the Forest Lake area, I'd love to personally invite you to join us for a Sunday morning service at 9:30 a.m. or Wednesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. There's something for everyone.
Something to Think About with Pastor Mike is a production of WAJC Your Life Radio, which is owned and operated by Maranatha Assembly of God in Forest Lake, Minnesota. You can find more information on the web at realchurch.org. Now, back to Something to Think About.
Well, here we go. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. Hey, at WAGC Radio, we have another live program every Thursday. Pastor Bill and his wife, Denise, they do a show called In Pursuit. And if you've never listened to that, I want to encourage you to tune in on Thursdays at noon. It's a great show. So, Robin, so last week we did some questions that were written by, I spoke, every September I get the privilege of speaking to our women's group here at church. And I get to be their guest, and for the last couple of years, what they do is they write questions down, and there's nothing off limits. They can ask anything they want about my personal life, or marriage, or kids, theology. They can ask whatever, and some of the questions are very interesting. This year was really unique in its variety. Pretty cool. So
Yeah, very cool.
let's go through some of this, and hopefully it'll be kind of interesting.
Sure. Well, and very timely. How do you keep your head up and not be mad at God when things like the Minneapolis church school shooting happens?
That's a great question. It really is. And they had that shooting in New York at the synagogue. No, not in New York, in Israel, up to
Manchester,
in England. That's right. That tragedies like this, and not just these kind of horrible tragedies, but the horrible tragedies that people experience in their life, like the death of a child, a car accident takes a husband or a wife or a teenager. I mean, there's a lot of tragedy going along, and a lot of people wave their fist at God's face and say, God, why did you do this? Why did you take him? And my answer to that is, how do I handle it? Well, first of all, I got to weed through poor theology. Because most of the time, we don't understand theology. The church we've gotten this idea that once we give our lives to God, God is the giver of good things, and all I'll experience my whole life is good things. Well, I might experience a couple of bad things, but horrible tragedies, we don't. That doesn't fit into our theology, so it blows us out of the water. I know a lot of people, unfortunately, that tragedies have come, and they say, again, the mental calisthenic, they basically give up on God because their theology is bad. They think God didn't stop this, or God caused this, or God allowed this, and they just seem it's unfair. Well, that's horrible theology.
And they didn't know that they had inappropriate expectations of God.
So bad theology is part of the reason why people do get mad at God and stuff like that. So I don't get mad at God. I use it as an encouragement to get more active sharing Christ with people, because you need to know God. So the phrase that I've come up with personally that I use in my life in light of the shooting, and it happened since that school shooting, that I don't care what goes on in the world or in your personal life, run to God. Run to God. If you're confused, run to God. If you're hurting, run to God. If you're frustrated, run to God. Because I can guarantee you, running away from him is not going to help. Way too many people have made shipwreck of their faith. They've walked away from God. Man, you need to run to God. That we would, when calamity happens, we run to God. David, all the prophets when bad things happen, they run to God. God. We are not fatalists. We're not like we have free will, and that's really at the very core and understanding of life. I was telling, I've told several people lately that when their loved ones have passed away, they say, I don't understand why God took them. I said, God didn't take them; they died. It is appointed unto man, everyone wants to die. Why do we get this idea that we are guaranteed everything wonderful, and when something bad happens, it's like, oh my gosh. I know people who wake up every day and they expect life's going to be glorious, and the first negative encounter just wrecks their whole day. They're like, oh my gosh, and they're frustrated going through life. And somebody like that asked me one time, Pastor Mike, you seem like you're always happy. Don't you ever have any bad things? I'm like, oh my gosh, I could give you a list. Are you kidding me? Painful, betrayals, etc., etc. Yeah, bad things happen in my life too. Well, how come you don't? You see, well, I said, because there's a difference between you and me. You expect life to go great, and the first thing that happens wrong, it just blows you out of the water. I wake up every day knowing there's going to be troubles, and Lord, I ask you for strength to get through them. How are we going to attack the situations that come up today? So I'm expecting problems, because that's life.
Right. Well, and You know, the sermon that you preached, I just quickly looked up the date that you did it. So if folks are really wanting some encouragement, because you had a lot of great things to say with that sermon. It was on September 21st, and you can find it on our website at realchurch.org. Just go to the media tab, and you'll be able to find that sermon, because there's a lot of great points about why we need to run to God, all that stuff. So,
September 21st?
September 21st.
Cool.
Next question. Tell us a story about your first best friend.
My first best friend. Let me tell you about my best friend. His name is Jesus Christ, and he's the best there ever was. No, my first best friend, his name was Brian Cruzel. Lived across the street from me. We were the same age. We went to different schools, both raised Catholic. He went to the Catholic Church up by the high school. I went to St. John Vianney, the other side of the city. We lived just like right on the dividing line. It was kind of strange, but I grew up, I was thinking about this the other day. I have a storied growing up. My adolescence was marvelous. We had a group of people, boys and girls, that were in the neighborhood, and we hung around together every night.
Wow.
In the summer, we'd play ditch. In the winter, we played hockey. The girls didn't play with that, though, but we'd go sit down at the Cavaliers' house, sit on their porch swing out in the yard. It wasn't a porch swing. It was a big swing kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it, and we just hang around. We had this group. We did things all the time together. But there's the guy right across the street, Brian Cruzel. We were just good, best buddies.
That's very cool.
In fact, let me just go one more thing. He every summer, he had an uncle who had owned a farm, and every summer he'd spend 2 weeks out at the farm. He'd come back. Now you got to remember, we're in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, skinny, adolescents. But he'd come back from the farm, his muscles would be, a little bigger, And by that I mean it was just kind of
a tiny little hump.
But just a tiny little hump. But for back then I just thought, oh God, look at that, because I was just a skinny little runt. And I have to admit, I think, and I wonder how much of that encouraged me that when I was in 9th grade, I started working out and lifting weights. And then in South St. Paul, where I went to junior high, there was the Phi Ed teacher started this bench press club. He called it the 200-pound bench press club. And if you could bench press 200 pounds, you put your name up there. And I seen that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want my name up there. I don't think I realized what I was asking. I weighed 119 pounds, soaking wet. And the first name went up there. The first name went up there, the second name went up there, and then the third name went up there. Every one of these guys were well over 200 pounds, but they got the name up there. My name was the fourth name up there.
Wow. And you were still under 200 pounds.
I weighed 119.
Wow.
I just a skinny, scrawny little runt, but I benched 200 pounds. Wow. And ever since then, I think I've just kind of realized that discipline in one area of your life spills off into other areas. And so I've kept it. It's like a ball spinning. I remember when I was 40, I could bench press 380 pounds. I weighed 185, more than twice my weight.
Wow.
Which is incredible. And other guys around me were inspired, kind of, saying, golly, I think I want to do that. And I look at, and I'd say to some of them, why? Well, they say, I'm going to bench 300 pounds. I go, no, you won't. And they thought I was being arrogant, and I'm just not being honest. You have no idea how much work it's going to take you to get to 300 pounds. You really have no idea. And I know you're not going to do it, because you're not going to even be ticked off enough by me saying this to prove me wrong. You will not be. You're not going to do it.
Anger can be a motivator.
Secondly, for why? It's not worth it. If I didn't already have established a working out kind of thing in my life, I wouldn't start now. I mean, it sounds strange, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't. That. Right now, it's easy. All I got to do is just hit the plate once in a while and spin it. I don't work out that much. I don't have to. I just...
That's so nice.
I know. I'll go a week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a month. I don't work out. And I just pick it up. I'm right back where I started almost.
Wow. There you go. So,
there you have it. Brian Cruzel, one of my first best friend.
Next question. How do I live a godly life?
Go to church for the rest of your life, and we'll be talking about it.
Yeah, that's a great place to talk about it.
I mean, really, that's what we're talking about. But how to live a godly life. Obviously, the best way to live a godly life is not following the church plan of do's and don'ts. It's to get to know him. Like we were talking about earlier.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You want to be more godly? Find out who he is. He loved the widows. He loved the poor. He loved the disenfranchised. He loved those that were abused. We need to be motivated to just love people, period.
And what that looks like, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, what's your favorite candy?
Oh, man, that's a
I don't
tough
know how
question.
you're going to answer that.
I don't know either. In fact, I remember that Saturday, I had a very tough time, too. I remember that question now. Because I've rarely met a piece of candy I didn't like. Jay, how about you? I like candy.
Yeah, no, those ginger drops you guys have are
Oh, the Jesus drops?
way low on my list.
You don't like them at all?
No.
Oh, well, they serve a purpose.
Well,
They're just...
that keep you awake.
Well, I know sliced pickles are right up there for you.
Oh, yeah, that's not a candy, thankfully.
Oh, that's true. That's right. It's not a candy.
Thankfully, no, I don't know. I think it changes. You know, for me, I gotta. There's very few things that could top a good Butterfinger bar.
I was thinking the same thing. I love Butterfinger.
But
Yes.
sadly,
I love Heath.
sometimes
Fresh.
you get those ones that are kind of
Hard.
hard or gooey on the inside, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I just want to. How do I get just the good
It's
ones?
the sweet, shattery.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just like all kinds of candy. I didn't know how to answer that one because I can't answer it now either. I like candy.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question. What's your favorite spot to relax?
Easy. My garage.
Your garage?
I mean, if it's not on a motorcycle trip, on a motorcycle, it's in my garage.
So you sit out in your garage?
I sit out in my garage every night.
Nice.
Every night. I have a nice recliner out there. I have a couch, big TV.
Oh, so you got it tricked out.
Well, it's kind of a man cave, sort of.
Good. Okay.
But it's full. I mean, I got a couple motorcycles in there, a couple of hot rods. I have my desk. I have an office in my garage that I prepare most of my messages. Are prepared there, not here at the office, because I come in here to get interrupted.
Yeah.
And to be with staff and help them answer questions or do what, and just be around. But if I want to get work done, I go home at my desk in my garage.
And the nice thing is, it sounds like you can look at your collections while you do that.
I could. Yes,
That's
I
me
could.
just poking at you a little
It's
bit.
really funny. So I drove one of my hot rods yesterday, and the people that just stare and whatever, and then I can almost read their minds because of years of being judged. I can see them going, oh, and he's a pastor. God, I wish I was a pastor if he can drive that, And so, and today I'm driving my rusty old truck, and it's really funny. People don't like to see me driving a rusty old truck like this either. It's like
really
you can't
interesting.
please people. So it's been a lifetime of, no, that's too nice. That's like, whoa, it's pretty fancy. What do you think? You're some fancy what? No.
It's really interesting. I was having a conversation the other day, this past week, about this idea of deserving. They don't deserve that, really. Who decides that? It was a fascinating conversation. Yeah, it was, thought-provoking. Let's hope. Okay, next question. What is your most memorable experience in your ministry? This person also says you're awesome with a smiley face.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
The most memorable, 46 years.
I know. How do you pick?
I know that generally speaking, the most memorable times are watching people's lives change. Sharing the gospel, walking and doing life together, and seeing people grow, their life change. That is the most memorable.
Yeah, that's very cool. Would you ever write a book on struggling?
I've written a lot of books.
Grieving, or not the book in your head.
Oh,
but
that's
like
the
a
book.
real
Yeah,
book.
the book in my head. I've written a lot of them. I got so many chapters up there.
I know.
Oh man, I've written a lot of books. Am I ever going to? I mean, people are after me all the time. Man, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. I'm not sure if I ever will or not. I mean, I don't know.
I get it. What do you think is the most misunderstood thing people believe about the Bible and yourself? Ooh. What's the most misunderstood thing? Let's start with the Bible. What's the most misunderstood thing about the Bible, you think?
I think the most misunderstood thing about the Bible is that they think it's like a book of ingredients. If you do this, and you do this, and you do this, it'll always equal this. It's like making chocolate chip cookies.
Sure.
Put a cup of flour, put a teaspoon of baking soda, a little pinch of salt, and you put all these things together. And they think that, well, if I read the Bible and I'm going to stand on it, and here it says if you can have whatever you want, and it equals this. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. It's very, very misunderstood. Mm-hmm. The Bible is not a record of man's search for God. It's really a record of God's search for man. Mm-hmm. How God's revealing himself constantly. Mm-hmm. So I think it's that. The biggest misunderstanding about me.
About you.
I remember that day now, because it was a few weeks back. I didn't answer it because, I don't know. So I had my wife do it.
Oh.
And she said, personally, she said, one of the best misunderstood things is because I do not parade around like many pastors. They try to be so, I don't know how to describe this, but very, you help me. Let's try to find.
Okay, so there are circles within Christianity where intellectualism and academic prowess are really
and she said she said one of the biggest things is, Mike, you are smarter than what most people realize.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just don't try to be, God, I don't know how to describe it, but this idea of proper and whatever, that's how somehow spiritual. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that. It's interesting, the associations, though, I have to say, because you can look intellectual, people can look intellectual and not be.
Yep.
People can look all kinds of ways, and you have no idea what their brilliance is.
Yep.
Right? And so, not the goal is to keep people guessing, but we really do have to be careful about our assumptions and all of that kind of stuff. Because I would agree with her. I mean, I think that's appropriate. The other one that I would add is that people probably don't realize how much tradition you enjoy.
Oh. Yeah, they see me as a non-traditional,
exactly.
But I am a keeper of the past, of the tradition, of the sacred.
And
I really am.
And it's cool to have those kinds of discussions about doctrine and theology and what is dogma and all that other kind of thing and how does it work out. And when you ask us questions like the altar, is going forward to the altar, is it a meaningful experience or is it something that you're just doing?
Because that's what we've always done. Yeah.
Is it losing its... So just those thought-provoking questions and stuff. Okay. What's your favorite hobby? They put parameters on it, though. Not racing cars or motorcycles.
Oh.
So if you couldn't answer those...
I couldn't answer those. What's my favorite hobby besides those? My favorite hobby. It's people. It really is. It's people. I like being around people. I like challenging people. I like poking people. I like being poked, even if it hurts sometimes, because I'm far from perfect. I am imperfect, and when people point out something that I've done that's caused them harm, it hurts me, and I go, oh man, but thanks for telling me. I'm not going to change if you don't let me know.
That's right.
So, yep.
That's cool. What's the fastest you've ever gone on a bike? And then a follow-up question.
Just a little over 150 miles an hour.
Wow. Was that street racing? I was going to say.
That was on the street. I just realized we're on the radio. It's like, oh boy, yeah, I did.
Well, it's not like it's happening now.
No, exactly.
People are not going to come up and knock on the door.
Yeah, it was a while ago. So,
okay. What's the fastest you've ever gone in a car?
That I couldn't even answer. I can't remember. Not as fast as a motorcycle. I can remember. I've done probably 125 in a car, but on a motorcycle, 125 many times. I mean, many.
Do not try
on
this
two
at
wheels.
home.
That's right. Do not try this at home.
Sometimes on his way to Bible study.
That's right.
Running a little late.
No. These are usually when you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you just and people need to understand when they hear that you go that fast. It's not like you keep it pegged and you just fly like a madman. Usually when you do this high speed stuff, and anybody out there who's ever speeded and went up fast, usually you go up to that speed, you go up, and then as soon as you get there, you let off, and you get back to normal driving. So you don't just fly.
Was this during the day or the night?
Day. There's animals out at night.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
there's during the day too, but I mean, at
You
night.
can at least usually see them coming during the day.
Exactly. Well,
Usually.
you know, and that's a facade too.
Unless they're hiding in the
No,
ditch.
that's what I mean.
That's
You know,
happened to
this
me.
whole idea that you can see them. No, because you're going so fast, you're not going to be able to avoid them. All you're doing is seeing what you're going to hit. So
Mm-hmm. You just have enough time to go, "Oh,
if you
no."
see an animal, that's why I always think it's funny that
Pucker
all of us motorcycle riders, myself included, you know, we want to look and see deer. Okay, well, if you're doing the speed limit, you might be okay depending on when they decide to come out or when you see them.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, if you're and you see a deer and it's coming out, you're not going to miss it. All you're doing is seeing what you're going to hit. That's really what it is. Yeah.
Gives you an opportunity to
Pray.
say to yourself,
Prepare to die.
this is going to hurt.
This is going to hurt.
Probably going to hurt.
And I hope I'm alive and okay when this ends.
You know,
Yeah, when this ride is over.
I've never had that experience. But
I have a couple times.
But I've had that moment of time where something happened and the momentum has begun. It has not ended, and the thinking goes,
It's in motion.
oh no, this is going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
This is going to hurt.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you crashed on your bicycle.
I did.
You crashed on your bicycle. I imagine that's one of these things you're talking about.
That was the thing.
The thing you're like, oh boy,
yeah.
here. Yeah, I was sliding off the road. It was like springtime, and I had a car with wider tires, and there was like 2 inches of slush on the road, and I'm going a little faster than the speed limit, and all of a sudden the car just jumped up and hydroplaned, and now it's sliding.
Yeah.
Once it starts sliding,
Oof.
all bets are off. So I'm heading towards the ditch, and I realize I don't have my seatbelt on, and I'm heading towards the ditch, and I see a driveway embankment that I am going to hit. I immediately grab the steering wheel, shove my right side of my chest, rib cage, up against the dash, hug the steering wheel, and prepared for a ride because I thought, this is going to hurt.
This is going to hurt.
And I literally remember thinking to myself, I wonder if I'll be awake when this ride's over.
Yikes.
And bang. And I clipped 3 trees off about 6 feet in the air. Just clipped them right off.
That's crazy.
And then the car landed. And again, nobody's around, so I don't know if I was out or not. I don't think I was. Mm-hmm. But somebody from church came by and see me, my car in the ditch. And he see me, he stopped enough to say, Pastor Mike, are you okay? And my knuckles were bleeding a little bit, and I was. And I said, oh, yeah, I'm fine. I said, thanks a lot. I'm just going to call for help and, whatever. And he left. Well, the next day or the next Sunday when I see him at church, he said, I feel bad. I should have stayed there with you. He said, because you didn't look good. He said, you said you were okay, but you were a little wonky. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's really funny because, logically you understand that time is it marches at its particular pace.
Yes.
Time is just time, 1 second after another second. But the longest periods of time are when you're waiting for it to hit.
Yes.
Or when I'm having
It's
a
like
baby.
it's in slow motion.
When I've had a baby. That's when time doesn't, no, it's not one after another. It's like, exponential.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I do know this, that whether it's a car or a motorcycle, everything is fine until you're out of control.
Life is like that.
Well, I mean, it's true, but on this thing, you do not realize how fast you're going because it's just the speed. Like you go in freeway speed, and it's going 70. Most everybody would think, oh, it's comfortable. You're going 7 miles an hour. If that car were to leave the road at 70, you instantly realize, oh my God, I'm going 70 miles an hour. I mean, this thing's flying as soon as you leave the roadway. I remember when I was racing, as long as you're on the racetrack, motorcycle racing, you're flying. I'm going over 140 miles an hour through turn 1. I mean, you can't even describe that. It is such a rush. It is so cool. But I went off the track one time at just over 100 miles an hour. And when you hit grass, and you're on 2 wheels, well, 4 too, but when you hit grass, you cannot imagine how slippery that is. Mm-hmm. At 100 miles an hour, and I realized at that moment, so as long as I'm on the track going 100 miles an hour, and for our listeners, you can't see this, but I'm leaning in my chair right now like as if I'm riding, like I'm riding a motorcycle. Everything is fine, again, until you leave the track. And then you realize, oh my goodness, just flying. It took me forever to slow down gently, because every time you try to hit the brakes, it just slides, and you're going 100 miles an hour in the grass.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
When I first moved to Minnesota, I was introduced, this was a long time ago, I was first introduced to black ice by flipping my stepdad's car on 35W and landed in the middle median, hanging upside down by the seatbelt.
Wow. Wow, that's a trip. Well, you know something? This is the final segue as we get ready to leave the show today, because winter is coming.
Winter's coming.
Hey, winter's coming, folks. And again, man, you don't realize how fast you're going until you start sliding. Now you realize, whoa. So my advice to my kids is always, hey, if you start sliding around, aim for something cheap. Aim for something cheap, because you might not be able to avoid it. So let's just hope it's not going to be too costly. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Something to Think About with Pastor Mike. That's me, and we enjoy you tuning in, and have a great weekend.
Hey, thanks for tuning in today. Please join us right here each Friday morning at 8 a.m. If you have any questions or comments about today's show, email wajc@yourliferadio.com. You can hear more from Pastor Mike at Maranatha's website, realchurch.org, on the Messages and Media tab. The opinions expressed here are not necessarily those of the owner.